Hi, I'm Mike Levin, CEO of Harlem Lacrosse. Welcome to Mondays with Mike, a series of conversations with members of the Harlem Lacrosse family and thought leaders in lacrosse, education, and youth development. We'll discuss the strides we're making every single day towards equity and diversity in lacrosse and education, the opportunity gaps and challenges we're working through, and why the future of our student athletes and the sport we love is brighter because of Harlem Lacrosse. For our first Mondays with Mike conversation, I'm excited to honor Women's History Month and celebrate the work that we do at Harlem Lacrosse to increase play equity for our female athletes and our student athletes at large. One specific way we support female student athletes is through our Women's Impact Network, which just hosted their first career panel engaging over 60 students, alumni, WIN panelists, and Harlem Lacrosse staff. Lacrosse is made better through equity and diversity, as is the world at large. Jazmine Servance and Lenaijah Ferguson are two alums that have navigated paths that weren't always easy or straight to become the leaders that they are today, both on and off the field. Um, so Lenaijah, what's your journey with Harlem Lacrosse?
Gonna play lacrosse. And I would always see like the boys walking with their sticks, but I never knew what it was. And I finally like chose to play and I ended up loving it.
In what ways do you feel like you kind of took advantage of Harlem Lacrosse in moments when it got tough?
I feel like just thinking about like where I came from in general and how my journey started because of Harlem Lacrosse. I think about that a lot. Like even now I have some ups and downs where it's like I question still being out here and playing and everything, but then I remember like I can't stop here. I'm almost finished and the people who helped me get here, they're literally rooting for me. Like they're rooting for me back at home. So if I stop now, it just wouldn't be beneficial for me. Because I've honestly gotten so much just because of Harlem Lacrosse. Like just being able to receive a full scholarship coming to college and playing something that I love and just doing something that a lot of students don't get to receive at all. The experience in general coming from Baltimore, Maryland, that just kind of speaks for itself.
The class that you were a part of, your graduation class from high school, from Maryland, from Baltimore, in
Mhm.
terms of Harlem Lacrosse students, probably had 15 or 20 students in it. Um, and now nationally, we're almost to the point where 2 years from now, we want to be having 150 students a year graduating as Harlem Lacrosse seniors. And so it's kind of cool that they have you all to look up to, and that every year there's more and more kids to say, hey, like, yeah, we do belong, and these are opportunities that should exist for us.
Well, why did you choose to come back and be on our summer staff? And what was it like? What was that experience like working with our younger kids in the program?
Realizing how much of a leader I actually am. Although it was super fun for me because I got to push them to like a different level that they needed. They needed that. Being able to help them prepare themselves for college and just like strengthening their lacrosse IQ, as well as their way of understanding, classwork and things that you need to know for the ideal world.
All spin class. And what that did for the rest of our high schoolers is they got to see how hard you work, what it takes to become the thing that they want to be. They're seeing it live in action. What does it look like to be a college student athlete? They get to watch you do it. And that's so powerful to see somebody that's come through the program pave the way and then be able to watch how you do it and how you move and how you carry yourself. That's why it's so important when we have our alumni come back and work on staff.
I mean, it's one of the things that gets me so excited to meet young people like you who are really like sometimes I call the leading edge of Harlem Lacrosse. Because one step to want to work hard. Okay, that's good. Lots of people want to work hard. And then there's another step. Do you know what it really looks like to work hard? And but you did that without anyone providing that for you. Like that, what you provided to those kids, you were able to do just based on what you have inside of you. Like the person that you are, which is like. And now look, they're it like 150 kids a year are going to be seniors. It's really really cool. It's like I hope you feel really proud. And when we are working at Harlem Lacrosse, like to try and make it the best that we can, we're definitely thinking about those trailblazers who really like paved the way. Like you mentioned, your perspective on school, and you, as I think in your words, you were not really a school kid when you first started, or like at some point in your middle school career. And now, you seem quite focused. What do you think changed for you? Like, what was your perspective on school when you first started in lacrosse? Or yeah, I just like as a middle school student, how did you think about school? And what do you think changed your point of view?
Honestly, I wasn't like a big like school kid either, so I didn't really want to be in school. But now, like I'm gonna be in school for 5 years, and I'm gonna graduate with a master's. It was just like it took me to get away from home to really like narrow down and be like focused into school. I feel like I had not had a lot of distractions when I was home, but like I had like a lot of responsibilities to carry, and I wasn't like school was like the back burner. And yeah, I was just like, this isn't a priority right now. So like my mom wasn't as like super hands-on in the school because like she had to work because I grew up with a single mom. Like that's just what it was. And that kind of goes into why I said like I put everything else on the back burner because like I needed to be there for my sister. Like and like mentally I was just getting drained. Like it was just too overwhelming. I was like, I'm growing up too fast. Like I'm growing up faster than I need to grow up. Like, and it was like, but I embraced it, and then it made me the person I am today. When I got to college, it was like go, like it was finally like free. Like I was just doing like me, and I would check in on my sister, but it was like all the baggage I was carrying was just like gone. Like it was like like that's why like being away from home, like it sucked, but it also was like what I needed. Like I could never like I don't think I would be so like the successful person I am right now or where I am right now if I was home. Like that, like to be honest, I think it like shook my mom. Like it was like a scary thing because it took me away from home. Like it was like an instance of like, oh, I'm gone every weekend. Like we gotta figure out like who's gonna watch my sister. Like she definitely like the Harlem family like knew that whole era of like what I needed to support wise, and like they just went full in and they supported that aspect of it for me, and they knew that I needed the support for my sister in order for me to like be successful and like actually like do what I needed to do. And I was just like grateful for them for taking her up under their wing.
So, but I kind of want to go back to Jenny. We were talking about you both have been away from home for a long time, and just what that experience was like for you, Jenny, to support both Jazmine and Lenaijah while they were away.
I think the time where I was most hands-on that stands out to me is you had this like reckoning where you're like, I'm at a PWI and I have a lot of feelings about that. And you had to figure out navigating what that was going to be like. And, you had thought about transferring, and that was heavy. And there was a lot of conversations about what is the right choice going to be? How are you going to make this work if you're going to choose to stay? What are the resources on campus that you can access? How can you be authentic to who you are and not like change who you are in order to still have this opportunity, but also.
Can you share what it was like during that? I mean, I can only imagine like
it was so difficult. Like just imagine coming from Baltimore. Everyone you're in the class with, they're your complexion, they're black. And then you go to a PWI, you're the only black girl on every single team you play on. Like every single team. It took me a while to get used to, but then I was like, this is it. This is high school. I gotta deal with it. It wasn't much I could do with it. I just had to take the experience for what it was, honestly, and just play my part as best as I could. I knew that I was a good lacrosse player, so I just did what I had to do. A lot of especially when you're already standing out on the field, and then you're already standing out and you're playing on this team. It's like, do I need to do more, or am I doing enough? Like I would question myself while I was playing. And then after I stopped finally questioning myself and I knew that I was doing all I needed to do, I think things like came fairly easy to me. I was like, all right, I'm the only black girl on the team. I'm just do what I gotta do. I'm gonna stand out, but I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna do everything that's needed for this team. I never really gave myself that recognition to know that I was one of the best players on the team. But then once I finally did, I felt fine with being at the PWI.
there's some really incredible young people in the community served by Harlem Lacrosse. But hopefully we can help by just giving you a few opportunities, introducing a few relationships, people who can be in your corner when you need somebody, and just say if there's something that you want, it's available to you. And,
Really proud of you both. Thank you for sharing your journey.
you should know there are a lot of people who are rooting for you and who are really proud of you. So keep up the great work, and we'll be following along, cheering you on for sure.